recent Fortune magazine article has made waves with a grim admission. After more than $30 billion spent flooding classrooms with laptops and tablets, standardized test scores keep sliding. Worse, neuroscientists now link more classroom screen time to lower performance. The very device meant to modernize learning may be helping to unmake it. Schools rushed into a technological revolution without asking the most basic question: what does this do to a child's mind? Many teachers saw the answer firsthand and in real time. Administrators and experts ignored them because the fad sounded like progress. I taught history and civics in Florida public schools as the laptop trend took hold. Computers had sat in classrooms since my childhood, but they played a supporting role. A few desktops in the back helped with research. A computer lab handled bigger projects, but most learning still happened on paper with books, notes, and conversations. Then the Chromebook arrived. It was cheap, durable, limited, and perfect for one thing: living inside a web browser. Suddenly, a district could put a machine not just in every room, but in the hands of every single student. Public school administrators love buzzwords. Technological literacy sounds noble, as if every ninth grader is training for Silicon Valley while working on their grammar assignment. Google didn't just sell discounted laptops, it supplied a full ecosystem: docs, sheets, slides, classroom. The whole apparatus of schooling migrated into Alphabet's software suite. Few people in the system asked why a private company wanted to become the operating system of childhood. The laptop push also fit the religion of metrics. District officials love anything that produces dashboards, timestamps, and engagement graphs. A worksheet completed on paper frustrates the spreadsheet priesthood. A worksheet completed on a Chromebook generates data. The device didn't just enter the classroom, it entered the managerial imagination, where metrics matter more than minds. Once laptops become ubiquitous, the problems announced themselves. The deeper the integration, the harder it became to control. Cheating became routine. Students searched out answers in seconds. The larger problem went beyond quizzes, though. Googling replaced thinking. Kids refused to read because they assumed that a quick search and copy-pasting counted as learning. Wikipedia became the default authority. Students stopped vetting anything because they treated the first search result as the truth. Even writing shifted. Instead of building an argument, students stitched together paragraphs from the internet and hoped the teachers were too tired to fight it. Schools tried parental controls, but their efforts were laughable. Teenagers treat these controls as a challenge. When thousands of bored adolescents share a building, they collaborate. A new filter went up, but within days, kids found a workaround. Soon, the screens were again showing games, videos, and even pornography. During class, in plain view, behind a pretense of work. Students used shared Google Docs as a covert messaging system. They gossiped, bullied, and planned actual crimes while keeping a document open to look studious. My school eventually had to hold an assembly to remind students that everything they type into a document leaves a record, and that bragging about criminal activity or sexual escapades can end up as evidence. All of that raised another issue: privacy and capture. Google didn't subsidize these devices and software out of corporate charity. By making Google Search and Google Apps the center of a child's informational life, the system trained dependency. Google finds the truth. Google organizes the truth. Google presents the truth. A student's education happens inside the Google ghetto. You can pretend that the company isn't collecting the data if you want, but the incentives cut the other way. Screens also fed the attention crisis. Administrators told teachers to stop showing videos longer than 3 minutes without pausing to explain because students couldn't stay focused. The device that was supposed to expand horizons kept shrinking attention spans. Teachers began competing with the entire internet for a child's attention, and no lesson plan can win that contest for long. The system made escape difficult. Florida went all in on Chromebooks and tied them to everything. Standardized tests moved entirely onto laptops. Test prep software got woven into daily coursework. Students with accommodations or limited English got pushed towards the device as a universal crutch. Denying a Chromebook got treated the same as denying an education. Teachers who resisted risked discipline. Personally, I reached a point where my students just mattered more than compliance. I saw what these screens were doing to learning, and there was just no way that I was going to be able to teach in this environment. I rebuilt my classroom around paper, books, and discussion. As much as possible, we shoved the computers in the corner. Students could use the Chromebook only for the mandated testing and accommodations that we couldn't meet any other way. This shift showed results very quickly. Students engaged more, distractions dropped, discipline improved a lot. More assignments got finished, and grades rose. Then COVID-19 struck. Remote learning turned the screen into the classroom itself. Even Florida, which resisted most of the lockdown hysteria, shifted much of schooling online. Learning fell off a cliff. The lockdowns devastated achievement, but the damage didn't end when students returned in person. After COVID, it became nearly impossible to pry students and parents and administrators away from screen-based schooling. Digital integration became mandatory, no exceptions. And like always, the corporate press arrives just in time to play cleanup. Reporters discovered the failure after the money was spent, the infrastructure was hardened, and a generation has been trained to treat the browser as a brain. Teachers like me were out there warning them the whole time. We had a front row seat to what was happening. We warned everyone and nobody would listen. But what are you going to do? Guess we just lost a generation. Oh well. Public education is stuffed with managerial drones who chase consensus and trends while ignoring what actually helps students. Bureaucracy will keep this program alive through sheer inertia, even as evidence piles up. Parents and lawmakers need to force a reset. Paper-based instruction as the default, screens as a tightly limited accommodation, and tests that reward reading and writing instead of clicking. Districts should stop outsourcing childhood to big tech, stop laundering ideology through digital citizenship, and start treating attention as a scarce resource worth defending. A concerted push to remove screens from classrooms needs to begin now. Start with elementary grades, bring back books, bring back handwriting, bring back sustained attention. Put the devices where they belong. Limited tools, not the center of learning. Kids learn slower, but they learn for real. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, now is a great time to do so. If you'd like to get these broadcasts as podcasts, you need to subscribe to Auron MacIntyre Show on your favorite podcast platform, and if you do, please leave that rating or review. It really helps with the algorithm magic. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, or Gab, or Substack, or Instagram, if you'd like to watch these videos on Rumble or Odyssey, the links to do all of that are down below in the description. And of course, you can read all of my columns and watch all of my shows over on The Blaze. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, I'll talk to you next time.